They say every fairy tale has a crack, but this one began with a single email, one sentence, one slip of truth that Prince Harry probably never expected anyone to see. For years, people believed Harry would stand by Meghan Markle forever. He left his home, his titles, his family, and even his future plans, all for her. But now, the storm isn't coming from Meghan, it's coming from Harry. Because palace insiders say Harry recently shared something shocking, a confession that surprised Meghan and revealed a hidden problem in their marriage. And it all goes back to February 2018, to one email that later appeared in court. At first, it looked normal, careful, and protective, but buried in the lines was a sentence that made royal insiders stop in disbelief. A sentence that didn't match the timeline. A sentence that didn't seem to match reality. A sentence that changed everything. But here's the strange part. In February 2018, there was no baby. No announcement, no hints, no rumours. So why did Harry write as if one already existed? And if there really was a baby, why couldn't anyone else confirm it? Tonight, we pull the thread that might undo the whole fairy tale. Because once you understand what that email could mean, you may never look at their marriage the same way again. Was Harry protecting Meghan? Or was he protecting something else? Harry was loyal, emotional, and led by his heart. Meghan was magnetic, smart, and always ready for the cameras. In public, they looked like a perfect modern fairy tale. Two rule breakers changing the royal story, two people standing together against the world. But inside the palace, things weren't so perfect. There were quiet rumours, rushed plans, late-night talks, and a feeling that something didn't quite make sense. And in the middle of it all was Harry's urgency, his stress, and his focus on one line: before the baby arrives. Wait, what? Because in February 2018, Meghan wasn't pregnant. Not publicly, not privately, not medically. Yet Harry wrote that line like someone running out of time. So the big question is, why? Receipt number 1. The impossible timeline. Harry sent that email in February 2018. He and Meghan didn't get married until May 2018, and the public pregnancy announcement didn't happen until October 2018. That's an 8-month gap. But here's the twist. Harry's email made it sound like the baby was supposed to come before the wedding. Think about it. A baby that seemed to exist months before any pregnancy was ever announced. The timeline just didn't add up at all. So now the real question is, what timeline was Harry actually working with? Confusion spread quickly. Inside the royal offices, staff were shocked. Meetings suddenly became serious. Plans were changed. Even the Queen quietly asked for answers, but there were no medical records, no checkups, no official proof. Just Harry saying the same line again and again. It needs to be handled before the baby arrives. And here's the part no one wanted to say out loud. The only person who ever talked about a baby was Meghan. Harry wasn't protecting the royal family. He was protecting a story. But the real question is, whose story was it? Receipt number 3. The disappearing crisis. By March 2018, just a few weeks later, everything suddenly changed. The panic faded. The rush stopped. The urgency was gone. The baby emergency that had turned royal schedules upside down was no longer mentioned by anyone. It felt like the whole situation was shut off overnight. Some insiders quietly said Meghan told Harry she had lost the baby, but the dates didn't match anything close to a real pregnancy. Not even a little. A huge crisis appeared out of nowhere and disappeared just as fast. And that left one big question that no one in the palace could ignore. Was there ever a baby at all? People inside the palace began to notice a pattern. It was almost like Meghan had 3 different sides she showed when it suited the moment. The first side was the victim, soft voice, emotional, gentle, instantly gaining sympathy. And Harry, already carrying pain from his past, rushed to protect her every time. The second side was the partner, warm, united, and strong. It was them against the world, and Harry always followed her lead. The third side was the star, confident, glowing, and loved by cameras. while Harry slowly faded into the background. And the timing of each side always seemed perfect. Every emotional change triggered a different reaction from Harry. She didn't need control, she used emotion. But the real question is, what happens when those emotions stop working? Receipt number 5. The wedding that couldn't be slowed down. The engagement moved faster than anyone expected. Just 6 months, almost unheard of for a royal wedding, and Harry pushed for it to happen quickly, urgently, almost desperately. Every reason kept circling back to the same line: before the baby arrives. That sentence was the force behind every rushed choice. This wasn't just a wedding. It felt like a deadline the palace never truly understood, and one that changed Harry's life forever. And the strangest part? We still haven't even reached the most shocking detail yet. When that email came back into the spotlight, social media went wild. People tweeted things like, "Harry knew about a baby months before she was pregnant. Explain." Or, "Rushing a royal wedding over a pregnancy that never happened." TikTok creators acted out the email dramatically, showing before the baby arrives, then cutting to an empty pregnancy pillow. Memes spread everywhere when the palace asked for medical proof, while Meghan just handed over a Starbucks cup. Hollywood loves drama, but not one they can't control. Would you believe the story if you heard that single line? Share your thoughts below. This wasn't just gossip, it was a full breakdown. The palace felt misled, staff felt used, and slowly, Harry began to notice the cracks too. Montecito seemed like freedom at first, but when the cameras turned off, the silence was deafening. He wasn't a prince anymore, not a hero, not a rebel. He felt like just an accessory. Brand deals slowed. Netflix raised questions. Hollywood whispered, "Is any of this real?" Even Meghan saw Harry slipping and couldn't stop it, because once a man who gave up everything starts wondering what it was all for, the whole foundation begins to shake. This email wasn't just a sentence in a file. It was the blueprint for their whole relationship. Urgency, fear, pressure, emotion. It was all there. If the baby story was misunderstood, or worse, never real, then every choice Harry made after that was built on shaky ground. The rushed wedding, the palace arguments, the dramatic exit, the move to America, all of it. And here's the unsettling part. If one timeline could be rewritten, what else was rewritten too? Because once one story cracks, the whole fairy tale can fall apart. So here's what we've discovered. One email revealed a hidden timeline. One sentence showed the pressure behind the wedding. And one moment changed Harry's life forever. Now the question is simple. Has Harry finally seen the truth? Or is he still living in the version she created? Share your thoughts below. Comment if you think this was planned from the very beginning. And if you love your scandals served cold, hit subscribe, because this story is only getting started.